Hey everybody, it's James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to play I'll Fly Away. Now, the cool thing about this tune is that it's just a 3-chord song, and this song's been recorded so many times, and everybody does it their own way. So I'm actually going to show you, at first, what I think is the simplest way to play it, and that's from the Gillian Welch and Alison Krauss version of this tune. That's in the key of D. But I'm also going to show you how Hank Williams Sr. plays it in the key of G. Kenny Rogers also does it in that key, and then Johnny Cash does it in the key of C. So you're actually going to learn 3 different sets of chord shapes, and this will actually help you out in the long run by teaching you a little bit about how keys work, how chords within each key work, and we're also going to learn a different rhythm pattern for each of those because they all have different rhythm feels. But that doesn't mean that you have to learn all this stuff. I just wanted to make the information available to you. Ultimately, within the first 5 minutes of this lesson, we're going to teach you how to play through this entire song in a super easy way using just 3 chords, and then we'll figure out the other stuff. And if you want a printable version of this, I have that on my Patreon. There's a link down below. Otherwise, we're going to get started with those chord shapes: D, G, and A. Now we're going to be switching from D to G quite a bit, and a really good trick for that is to leave this finger down. So I'm on my D chord, I leave my 3rd finger down, I can pivot off of it, and I can make my G chord. So I recommend trying that if you're not familiar with it yet, just going back and forth between those 2 shapes. And we'll also have to switch from D to A. And for that one, starting off on our D, we leave our ring finger down once again, and we slide it to the 2nd fret. And then we can complete our A shape. And then just reverse those steps to come back. Slide that finger back up and finish your D shape. So work on D to G, D to A. We do not have to switch from G to A in this song, but it's still a good idea to be good at it. You can do that if you want, but you don't need it for this tune. Anyways, once you've taken a moment with those, we can work through the chord order using downstrokes only, just to make sure we're doing everything the right number of times. Starting off on D, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Going to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, D, going to A, 3, 4, 1. Once you got that, the chords and the counting out of the way, we can take a look at the strumming pattern for this first version. I'll do it a little bit slower. 3 and 4 and. So our basic motions are down, down, up, down, up. Let's forget about that R for a second. Let's just do it this way. So on beats 1 and 2, downstrokes. 1, 2. Then we're going to count beat 3 out loud and eventually in our heads, but for now out loud, and go up, down, up. So like 3, up, down, up. And as I say 3, I'm also putting my hand down and missing the strings. Like 1, 2, 3, up, down, up. And that's what I want you to try first, just getting to that point. 1, 2, 3, up, down, up. Till you can play it over and over again. And then all we have to do is, for the very first stroke, do a tiny little stroke. Not a full one, just a little one that aims for the thicker strings. So in the case of D, it's a bit weird because that's the root note, but you could get both those strings. Sounds great. So root, down, 3, up, down, up, 1. And then we can work on getting it a little bit faster. Root, down, up, root, down. And once you're at that point, over time you'll just be able to get faster and faster. But it's more about being accurate at this point in time. Even though we're going slower, we still want to make sure everything's nice and smooth and even. Take a minute, try it out on each chord shape. Like for G, you can aim right for there on beat 1. So 1, 2. Same thing for A. So take your time with that, try it over each chord shape, and when you're ready, we're going to put that together with the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at this point, that's everything you need to be able to play through this song. You just keep repeating that over and over again until you run out of lyrics, and that's it. Now, I want to take a look at a few other versions of this tune. The first one I want to check out is the Hank Williams version. Now, our chords before were D, G, and A. In this version, our chords are G, C, and D. First thing we should do is work through the chords. Going from G to C, there's no real trick to it except to do it the same way every time. So when I'm switching from G to C, I'm gonna try to get these 2 fingers down first. And then I can put my ring finger down. You know, that's just my way of doing it. So I just grab that first, like that, and then I put that finger down. And I've been so consistent with that over time that I can just do it really quick now. If you're having trouble, consistency is everything. So we're on our G chord, we place these 2 fingers first, and then add that one. Switching back to G, I like to get these 2 fingers first, and then these 2. Work on that over and over again, and eventually it'll be a really easy switch for you. Regardless, if you need any extra help, like I mentioned before, I have tons of resources for that. Anyways, we've already worked on G to D, that's G to C. Let's just try putting this together, and the Hank Williams version is going to use the exact same strumming pattern as the last one. So let's just try this out. Starting off on G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Cool. Now Kenny Rogers' version is in that same key, so using G, C, and D, but we're going to change the rhythm this time. Our new rhythm pattern is going to go like this. And as far as the down and up strokes are concerned, that's a really easy one. We just go down on beat 1 and then down up on beat 2, and then down on beat 3, down up on beat 4. So it's the same thing 2 times in a row. Down, down, up, down, down, up. But on those downstrokes, we have to be really specific with aiming for a particular string. And what makes that hard is that when we're aiming for a particular string, we might drop our groove. You know, we might focus so much on aiming that our rhythm is no longer so smooth and steady. That's going to be the trickiest part of this. The first half of it, so I'm just plucking the thickest string and then down up. Just try that. Now the second half, on the G chord, I'm plucking the D string. Just try that. aiming for that D string. This is the toughest part. Toughest thing in this whole lesson. I'm missing it. That's the hardest part in this whole lesson, is aiming for those particular notes. On the G chord, we're going to alternate between this. I'm going to call that R because that's our root, and then this. And I'm going to call that A because that's our alternate bass note. You know, it's not our bass note, it's the other one. So root, down, up, A, down, up, root, alternate. And you might have to do this for a few days, a few weeks, a few months. It takes a long time to really get this into a good feel. Start now, you know, and try your best. That's what we do on the G chord. On the C chord, here's our root on the A string. And then for our alternate, it's actually on the thickest string. So we have to move this finger to the 3rd fret of the thickest string. It's going to be following our picking. We pluck that string. So root, alternate. See, they follow each other. Pick, pick. Work on that a little bit with the C chord. Then finally we have the D chord. And for this one, if you put your thumb over the top and mute that string, makes it a ton easier. Here's our root, and here's our alternate. So practice that on each individual chord shape, and then when you're ready, we can put that together using the same chords we were using for the Hank Sr. version, but with a different picking pattern. 1, 2, 3. And I mentioned this before, but I really want to make a point of it right now. The accuracy of that note is not as important as keeping a steady rhythm. So the steady rhythm comes first. The accuracy and picking the exact note can come later. You know, nobody's going to notice if you like missed a single bass note or whatever, but they will notice if the rhythm's choppy. So remember to focus on that. Now, the last thing that I want to do is the Johnny Cash version of this, and that's going to use the same strumming that we just did on Kenny Rogers, but once again, we have a new set of 3 chord shapes. Now we're going to be using C, F, and G. And at this point, I want to show you this chart here. Basically, what we're looking at here is the chords in each key. So at the top, you see those are all the chords in the key of D, and we can number them. There's 7 of them, and we number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, you'll see all the chords in the key of G. And once again, there's 7 chords. There's 7 chords in each key. And we can also put the key of C there. So those are the 7 chords in the key of C. Now, the first chord in each of them, D, G, and C, that's the 1 chord, or the actual key, right? Now you can see here that all I was doing as we were changing chords to accommodate each person's version of the song, the numbers have always been the same. You know, the Gillian Welch version in the key of D, D is the 1 chord, G is the 4 chord, A is the 5 chord. If we substitute those chord names for those numbers, then we can see that we can just plug in the key of G or the key of C. And this is how musicians think. This is how they change keys in their head. They think in numbers. It's called the Nashville numbering system, but there's other names for it. That's just the most common one. And it is, eventually, if you want to be like an excellent musician, it is essential. But for the time being, it's really nice just to be aware of this. Even if it's confusing you, just be aware that this exists. We'll talk about it way more later. You know, I've tons of stuff that I'd like to talk about on this channel eventually, and that's definitely one of them. Anyways, Johnny Cash's version of this tune uses C, F, and G, and it uses that picking style. So we already know how to do that on the C chord and on the G chord. Let's take a look at the F chord. I'm going to play F with the bar chord. Here's my lowest note, down, up, and here's my alternate bass note. So work that out with F. If you need any help with the bar chord, I have a course that covers that. I'll put a link to that down below. It helps you gradually learn bar chords. Anyways, let's just play through this tune. You'll be able to see it at the top of the screen, and if you have the chart from my Patreon, you can just follow along. Starting off on C, 1, 2, nice and slow. All right, so in today's lesson, for such a simple tune, we covered quite a bit. And the biggest takeaway that I want you to get out of this is that when different people do their song in their different version, they're using the same chords. Even if the chords are different, like the numbers are the same. You know, when people think that music theory is hard, but what I just showed you in this lesson, that is music theory. That's practical music theory that you can apply to guitar that's gonna make you better, faster. If you need any extra help with this stuff, there's my Complete Beginners course, which will help you learn to play songs just like this, chords and strumming, focusing on the fundamentals, on making your strumming nice and even, making sure you can count along with songs, making sure you can learn them and memorize them better, you know, learn familiar chord progressions, a whole bunch of stuff. Get out the mechanics of switching. I also have a finger picking course and a bar chords course that might help you if that's what you're more interested in. And you can download the chart for this off of my Patreon, and there's my free ebook. Anyways, thank you so much for going through this lesson with me. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.